Well, howdy guys. Good to see you all. Glad you all could make it. Very excited to get this going.
How you doing? I'm excited too.
The first gathering of Dungeon Masters Anonymous and our Dungeon Master support group. So, do we want to go around and introduce each other again, or introduce ourselves again, or just roll into it here? Just kind of.
I'm Austin.
Austin.
I guess we'll find out who you're playing.
Character when he shows up. But
yeah, that's right. Well, I'm Aaron. I'll be DMing the first session.
I'm Scott, new player, and probably the greatest one out of the bunch.
What I hear, most experienced DM from what I hear.
Oh, I don't know.
Got a bunch
it changes.
Got a bunch of 5e noobs maybe here, except for you. So. And last but not least,
I'm a noob to 5e, so
the man with no video.
And I am Dustin. I'm probably the DM that's going to kill the group.
Oh, calling the shots already, huh?
Why you gotta precondition everything?
Calling the shots already.
Because the psychological part is half the fun.
Here's in my mind.
There you go. You're living in fear.
You gotta lay the groundwork early.
Just let it build.
Well, let's get going. So, our story begins on the continent of Amara, a war-torn region that is recovering from the recent hobgoblin conflict to the northwest of the province, where a fierce battle was waged over lands and incursions that were being made by the hobgoblins coming down out of the mountains into the hills down at the bottom of the western slopes of the great mountain range that runs through the center of the continent. After protracted years of battle, the hobgoblins were finally driven back deep into the mountains, and concessions were made. The human and dwarven coalition achieved and received ownership of the Sotek mines and what had become known as the Sanguine Hills, or the Hills of Blood, due to the numerous conflicts that were waged across the low rolling slopes that had previously been home to rather peaceful tribes of halflings that loved to make their homes in the quiet rolling hills of the area. It's been 5 years since the conflict was resolved, and the cities and neighboring townships are settling back into a more peacetime stance around the area. People are returning to their homes after years, trying to get their farms and their orchards back together, starting up their trade across the longer routes now that the roads are relatively safe in comparison to the time years ago. And many old soldiers are returning home to try and pick up the pieces of lives they left behind. During this time, you all have found yourself traveling towards White Fork. White Fork is a bustling little town at an intersection of the large Whitewash River that runs down from the north past it, and it also receives as an inlet from the eastern mountains coming down from Galen Falls. It receives another inlet there, big influx of water coming down, fresh, icy mountain water, and the coalescing of these two rivers and the crossing there that they provide over their various fords and bridges that go through the area have led to White Fork being a rather bustling, resurging town. And a lot of trade is picked up through there, and they're quickly establishing themselves as a nice hub for bustling economy and trade, and a place where you can go and get some coin to bring back home, or to establish a new life for yourself in this world as you find it. So as you were all traveling with intention to arrive at White Fork, some of you had been there for a few days trying to get your bearings, staying at an inn, just getting your feet and enjoying a nice hot bath and bed for a time. Some of you found yourself approaching the city walls, but that is not where you find yourselves now. Could everybody please give me a Constitution saving throw?
What a first roll to make. 8.
Okay.
12.
11, unless it's drinking.
Youngest son.
All right.
He thinks himself a whip.
Austin, you were the 8?
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Austin was 8. Okay. Austin. All right. Scott.
Yes.
You wake up to a strange combination of heat and cold. You find your face is cold to the point almost of numbness, and you're feeling your features just twitch slightly as you work your jaw, and you're flexing. You find yourself stiff and sore, and you're like sitting up, and part of your arm is out to the side of a stiff, and you're looking at it, and your eyes try to focus in the dim light, some sort of greenish leather, or maybe like the skin of a water flask. You know, it's that thin kind of, it's digging into your side, and you're pushing yourself up and like moving around trying to get your bearings, and you find yourself in a dark, long tunnel. As you look up and down, you can't see far into it. It's quite dark. Nothing is visible except for the faint glow of some sort of vines or ropey textured things going on the wall, and you find yourself halfway out of this skin, this pod, something plastered up against the side of the cave, and you look out. You are in nothing but your undergarments, and you're kind of like moving around. And why don't you make a perception check real quick?
Ooh, I'm not... Okay. And I rolled a 1.
A 1, okay. Yeah, you're just trying to get your bearings. You don't know what's going on. Quite disoriented, as well you should be. That would next bring Austin. Austin, you find yourself shifting around. Same situation. You sit up. Your face is cold. You look up. You see the same thing that I described to Scott? More or less, you're kind of halfway leaning out of this leathery sack up against a wall, faint purplish color. And why don't you make a perception check?
What? Oh no.
17.
17. As you're sitting up, you hear the faint groans coming from behind you, and you can hear coming from further behind you a strange scuffling and grunting sound, just like and shuffling and smashing of like slapping sounds, like thudding, smashing, slapping sounds, and you find yourself like in this pod, like few feet off the ground as you're looking over. Your left arm is sorer than usual, and you feel like it does when you sleep on it wrong, and you've got that old cramp that you try and stretch out as you're moving yourself into position. It's very stiff on the side, but you look around.
Cold.
Yeah. And you look up and you can see two figures struggling on the ground behind you.
I call to them and I just say, anybody around here know where we are?
And they're scuffling on the ground, and you can see one is a larger, also naked human body, and it's got something smaller pinned to the ground, and you can see these small limbs out to the side, and like one has a dagger in it, and it's stabbing this human figure in the back. And as you call out, you hear it say, Dakren, is that you? Dakren! And he's stabbing this thing.
I'm going to try and break out of this thing.
Okay. Yeah, you find it's actually cut open. You don't have to break out really, but you can shuffle out and kind of slough over to the side. So just make a quick dex check just to see how you handle that.
Just straight dexterity?
Yeah.
9.
9. Okay, yeah, you kind of slide off and you hit your leg, and your leg kind of gives out from under, and you come dropping down a little bit onto one knee. It's a very short drop. You don't take any damage. Dustin, you wake up and find yourself in the same position, half hanging out of one of these pods attached to the side. As you sit up and look around groggily, trying to clear your eyes, make a perception check.
What that wench do? Oh, I've woken up in stranger places, but this is a new one. What did you want me to roll again?
Perception.
I don't even think I have my eyes open. 7.
7. Okay. Yeah, you hear some faint, grunting sounds, but that's about it as you sit up and look around.
Par for the course after the hangover.
Scott.
So basically raised my head and then just laid my head back down in the goo is what you're saying.
Yeah. Austin, what would you like to do? As you're sitting and looking there, you see this small figure fighting with a larger figure. The smaller one seems to have some dark kind of forest-covered clothes, greens and browns, and he's struggling beneath this naked human. They're fighting rather tooth and nail there. And you could hear the smaller figure yelling, Dakren! Dakren!
So the smaller one is attacking the human one?
It's kind of they're both fighting. They are definitely fighting. The figure fighting the smaller one is naked, much like you are, and covered in a very thin sheen of purplish goop, like mostly clear with a faint tinge of purple.
Okay.
Smaller covered the scent likewise.
Sorry, Scott, but you don't see anything yet. But
oh, gotcha. Okay, sorry.
But no,
making goo angels.
I know. As you're looking at it, you see that the smaller figure is dusty and has. You can see a number of wounds on its side already, and you can see this larger human on top of it has a dagger as well that it's grappling with and trying to stab the smaller figure with.
I'm just gonna run up and try and separate him. I don't really. Can I tell really what's going on? Do I have some sort of
you could try
sense for which side I should be on?
Yeah, you could. I mean, there's a naked figure like you, and
I'm probably on one's side who's like me. I'm gonna go over and just try and kick the little figure off of him.
The little figure's underneath him. The human's on top of him, with a dagger, trying to come down, and the smaller figure's the one calling out your name, asking for help.
Oh, geez. Well, this makes it really hard to decide then. Okay, well, I guess I'll pull the human off of him and just be like, hey, what's going on? And just kind of push him off. Yeah. Just kind of separate him as best as I can. Just try and get between them.
Okay, how do you want to do that? You want to kick him off, grab him underneath the shoulders, punch him in the head, grapple him to the ground? What are you trying to go for here?
I'm just gonna, let's see, I guess since the human's on top, just so I can figure out what's going on, I'm just gonna try and grab the human and just shove him off of him and sort of get in front of him and just be like, what's going on here? Hey, break it up.
Okay, so just go ahead and give the athletics then, if you're just gonna shove him off. Yeah, straight athletics contested with his. Okay, so he got a 14.
I'm proficient in athletics, but that's only an 8.
Okay, yeah, so you actually try pushing him, and he shuffles over to the side a bit, kind of slides, but corrects, and it's almost like he doesn't even know you, or doesn't even notice you behind him there, because as you slide, and you can see the halflings you see his little furry foot beneath them now, the halfling's holding him, and the human's got this knife that he's trying to bear down on him, while stabbing him with his free hand on the side. The halfling looks up and he sees your face. No. and the halfling looks at you, looks you straight in the eyes, and he's just like, Dakren, help! And the human is going to try and shove the knife down. And he kind of brings it down straight into the chest of the halfling. You see he goes, ah! And cries out. We'll go over to...
Do I know this halfling? Do I recognize him?
Give me a history check. Actually, no, wisdom check. I'm sorry, wisdom check. So,
Does he look like your character?
no, 11. No, you're looking at this guy very confused. Obviously, you don't know what's going on, but at the moment, you do not seem to recognize him. Scott, you and Dustin, you now can both hear this kerfuffle happening behind you. What would you guys like to do?
I'm going to struggle around, because we're in a strange place, I'm going to struggle around and see if I can get my bearings and see what's going on.
Okay.
What's the lighting like?
Get my feet under
pretty
me.
dim. You can see around all right, but yeah, it's pretty dim light. There's a faint glow coming from these sacks that are up against the wall, a faint purplish glow kind of emanating around.
So it's normal lighting for me then?
Yeah.
Because of dark vision?
Yep.
Okay.
And you guys are trying to get your bearings. You can eventually kind of move your way off to the side and stand wobbling on your feet. You see, when you look down to the left and right, you see two figures struggling on the ground, a naked human over a clothed halfling. You see one standing near them with a look of concern and panic on his face. Why don't you tell them what they see, Austin?
So you see a pretty tall human man. He looks human. He's pretty tall but a little bit hunched. Quite a few scars across his body. Black hair, pretty disheveled, stubbly black beard. And I guess, if that's all, if I don't have any of my equipment, that's pretty much all you see. You also see a tattoo on his arm that shows that he was a soldier in the latest Hobgoblin War.
Yeah.
Are we wearing equipment at the moment?
Nope. Nope. You look... actually, you would see that human Scott there and the struggling people. Dustin, you would see standing in front of you now. Scott's character. Scott, what does Dustin see in front of him there?
Well, very lean, very tall, older man. How can you describe him? A long white beard and a big craggy nose. And right now, he's trying to just get his feet and assess, just like you, what's going on here.
Yeah. And as you both kind of look, and Dakren, as you look over your shoulder to these thuds into the gravelly floor behind you, you see these figures behind you, and you see behind another human-looking fellow, a third and fourth figure behind them. Dustin, what do they see when they look at you?
They see a blonde-haired dwarf with light tan skin, short beard on the dwarven side, very short beard, practically a Van Dyke. You can actually see cheekbones in that, so he doesn't have a full beard, and looks as groggy as you would expect, getting out of bed, and is giving you a stink eye for waking him up.
Okay. All right.
Is this a female dwarf?
It's not a female dwarf.
All right. What do you guys want to do here? As you look at this situation, what do you do?
Well, I think we need some answers. So, body tackle might be the appropriate response here.
Okay.
At least I can attempt it. Well, I'm more of a. I guess you could describe my physique as more of a beard supported by a stick man. So. Anyway, I'm going for it. I'm going to try to do a body tackle and separate the two.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and which one you aiming for there? You're going to go for the...
I'm going to aim for the big one because I don't think it'd do any good to tackle the...
Okay. go ahead and.
I'm gonna.
Actually, he's carrying a knife. My goal is to tackle his knife.
Okay. All
If
right.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a grapple check then. So roll a d20 and then add your strength and proficiency.
All right. I have no proficiency, so hold on. My dice is eroded. Okay, I got an 18 and plus 2, so
Okay. Well, he's
20.
he's not paying any attention to you, so he's going to make this check with disadvantage, and he fails. So you come and barrel into this guy, grabbing the knife hand as it's rising up again to make another downward stab at this small halfling figure, and you just come barreling into it, grab the knife arm, and tackle him off to the side, and you get him struggle to the ground. And as you tackle him and are trying to pin this knife hand to the ground, you look and make eye contact, and it's a fairly young human male, blonde hair. It's hard to see in this lighting, so you can't really tell hair and eye color so much, but he's staring wildly up at you, and he just has this bizarre feral look on his face, and as you're now the focus of his attention, he's just looking at you, just going, and now trying to stab you with this knife. Dustin, what would you like to do?
I'd like to go. I don't have any equipment, correct?
Correct.
I grumble and get out of, quote, bed, and I walk past the halfling and I say, "Give me that." Tell him to give me his dagger.
Yeah. He kind of goes, "Oh, right," and he thrusts his other hand up at you where he had a second dagger, and hands it to you.
Okay, I grab that and I immediately turn and I stab the human that he's grappling.
Okay, make an attack roll with advantage as he is grappled.
Okay.
Huzzah!
Oh, it's a good thing that's with advantage. Oh gosh, that was a 1 and a 2. So,
okay.
I grab it, I turn up, wearily eye, like sleep in my eye, I can't tell which human I was supposed to stab, and I kind of go between the two.
Oh my!
And I'm like, oh, how much did I drink?
And
it might give me a pause. I don't know if it's going to give him one.
Yeah, so you bring it down and you stab this guy just in the neck, I take it?
Oh, I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oh my! Oh man! So
my to hit with that was only a 6.
Yeah. Hard as it is to miss a naked man with advantage, you bury the dagger into the ground next to him, and thankfully it wasn't a 1. You tink, and it just kind of glances off the stone, and he's still struggling around. You find yourself like kind of crouched down next to him, staring into these wild eyes, and he's just like almost feral, and
oh, your face is as foul as your breath. Turn away from me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run to the halfling and kind of just drag him away from the action real quick and see how well I can staunch his wound.
Yeah.
While
He's kind of holding on to it. He's like, it's good. Take care of that thing. You got it. He's just gone nuts. And he's kind of like pressing on it as the same as you and trying to help him.
I'm going to say to the halfling, how do you know my name? What's going on? You know what?
It's like, what?
Questions later.
Yeah, he's just perplexed. He's like, what? Yeah.
And then I'll go over to help, too.
Okay. As he's struggling there, you guys there's one. So what do? You walk, let's see, that was it. You actually see coming up behind you one more nude figure, this of a very small figure, very thin, red beard, wild red hair, and he just kind of walks up and it's like, what the hell is going on here? And he nude like you guys, just looking confused, like, what the hell is that? Just flabbergasted, confused out of his mind.
Is he covered in goo like we are too?
Yeah.
Same situation.
Yep.
I don't know, but we gotta get some relief in here.
Okay.
As the old man gets flailed around by this guy's arm.
Yeah. You still got it, Sterling. All right, Scott. What would you like to do?
Well, I think the best course right now, until these guys commit, I'm afraid to let go of him, so I'm just going to continue to just hold on to his arm and possibly try to wrench the, overextend his elbow.
Okay, yeah.
Trying to make him drop the knife.
Okay. We'll make that a straight contested roll to do that for another strength roll.
Sure.
Not great for him.
Not so good.
What'd you get total? 8? He got a 9.
8?
Yeah, he got a 9. And so you got him and you're holding both hands on his arm, and despite his feral insanity and you being somewhat of a healthier specimen, he's just got this weird, ropey, animalistic strength and
rage.
Yeah, it's awkward. Austin.
Well, if I can hold him for this round, that would be accomplished what I want to do.
Yeah, he's not able to. This was more just grappling over the hand, so you weren't able to get the knife off him, and he's not really trying to get away at the moment. So,
is this tunnel rocky at all? Are there rocks anywhere?
You just want to look around for like a loose stone or something?
Yeah.
Okay, just investigation check. Or perception, either one. Investigation or perception, whichever is applicable.
I would concentrate on getting stabbed.
15.
Yeah. You're pretty quickly find a hand-sized rock off to just a foot or so away from you. You're able to grab it.
Okay, I grab the rock, and does it look like the guy, like you said, he's just feral, he doesn't look like he's thinking clearly at all, right?
Mm-hmm. Very much so, yeah.
Alright, I'm going to smack him in the head with the rock, try and knock him out.
Safe bet. Attack with advantage.
There's a joke there somewhere.
Okay, that's a 22.
Hits, just barely though. Hits real good. That'll be a D4 plus your strength for damage.
So that's 6 damage. So I just hit him right in the temples.
Yeah, and he's like, and straight knocked out, and he's just laying there, stone cold. And you can see he's got all these other stab wounds across his body, but that was the last blow needed to knock him out. The halfling is on the side, just sitting there going, good, yeah, all right, we have to get out of here. Let's go quick. I saw the room with your gear further up, but it's had guards by it, so I just snuck by. And as you guys are kind of gathering around now, that other small figure looks like a small gnome. He had pointed ears and pointed nose. The one with the big red beard or trimmed up kind of pointy red beard and big bushy red hair is walking up and just like groggily looking around going, what is going on? Who are you people? Where are we?
I don't think anyone else except for this halfling here. Last thing I remember, I was in White Fork. I can't even remember what I was doing last. Is that the same as the rest of you? Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah.
What's the last thing all of you remember?
I remember thinking about going into town.
I remember.
What about you, Sir Dwarf?
I don't want to remember. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of. Is the halfling's wound okay? Staunch.
I remember going into White Fork, and that's it.
Yep.
And as my character is going to use the skills he should have started with, he's going to try to soothe the group a little bit and maybe help them calm down and regain some of their memories.
What are you trying to do for that?
Song of Rest.
That's that would require an hour, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
And as you're looking around and you're like trying to pull out an instrument, and you're like, oh, I don't have my instruments.
I'm using my soothing, dulcet tones of my voice.
Yes. But no, as Chester's
Maybe patting them a little.
so yeah, he's looking around at you guys and he's like, Dakren, do you know? You don't remember anything? What's going on, Dakren? You don't remember anything.
I'm sorry, I don't even know who you are.
All right, we were.
I don't even remember my first mug.
And he's just kind of like putting his hand up. You guys remember your whole lives. You haven't forgotten anything else. You just remember the last thing you remember is more or less approaching White Fork or having just gotten to White Fork. And he looks at him and says, "Okay, all right. Well, I'm Chester Halfhill. We were coming here to rescue the Westfall kids, and it didn't go right, but there's not time for that. Let's just get moving. Let's get out of here." And we've got.
You don't say it didn't go right. Last time I woke up half naked and stripped of all my stuff, I was surrounded by wenches. I don't know what this is.
I recall quite vividly. Do you remember your names at least? Do you all still remember your names? And Dakren, do you?
I do.
My name is Dakren.
All right.
My name is Hargus. I'm well known among the kingdoms as a man of mystery. No, I don't know.
International.
I'm still trying to find myself here.
Yeah.
Name's Branbrek of the Ironwood clan.
And then the gnome looks up and he's like, Jasper Runewood. I remember that. I remember just about everything. But just
Are you sure this isn't just some elaborate prank?
quite possible.
I look at the blood on the ground and I'm like, this is not a funny one if that's what this is, Dwarf.
I mean,
Branbrek.
what tavern ball doesn't result in a little bit of blood? But you're right, we should get to the bottom of this.
Well, let me see. I know I have lore of some, but I'm sorry.
What did you say your character's name was, Scott?
Hargus, so the clan Hargus.
Alright.
How's that
I
spelled?
almost went with Moog and David, but I thought that'd be too obvious.
Hargus, do you know how to use that dagger you took from that fellow, that mad fellow?
It's not my favorite weapon, but I've used a few.
I can hold it if you want. I was a soldier. So
I will hand it over to you. Until we find her gear, I will hand it over.
Okay.
Alright, I'll take the dagger.
There's something
So you said our gear is down this way?
organic matter. I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, I was just talking to the halfling. So you say our gear is down this way?
Yeah, he looks up and goes, yes, up is out. And he kind of lurches to his feet a little bit, and he's like, oh, Jasper, help me out here. And Jasper walks over and kind of puts his arm over him and picks up the other one. They start walking along, and Chester, the other one, the half-elf, looks up and goes, quick, this way. There's guards at the room, so we'll have to be careful, but we can get him, I think. We can get him.
Now, just a moment.
Yes.
Before we go rushing ahead,
Yes,
what put us in this situation in the first place? I'd rather not repeat the mistake. Do you know what I mean?
I guess don't go to sleep in the woods outside Galen Falls would be the thing, I guess. So
Do any memories come back at that? Do I remember the falls at all?
make a
Falling
wisdom
asleep.
check. Wisdom check.
This reminds me of ancient lore.
14.
14. There's like maybe the foggiest flash of a moment of seeing not necessarily a forest, but when he says Galen Falls, you've got this brief flash of this enormous waterfall cascading off of a flat tabletop mountain area where it just comes off in this huge vertical cliff and then drops into an expansive lake and this very impressive waterfall. But that's it. Just more like Galen Falls kind of sparks this memory of the actual falls themselves. But yeah, very foggy about what else is going on.
Okay, second question. It's dimly lit for the most part, so it's fine for me, but how are the others handling? Are they able to see even partially?
Limited
I can
distance.
see it just fine.
Yeah. So you can...
Everything's highlighted with this phosphorescence, right?
Yeah, dimly lit. And as you're looking now kind of back at these things you came out of, these sacks are plastered up against the wall, and they're each connected with these tendrils of, looks like veins or maybe even like...
Are any of them still closed, or were we just the ones in them?
As you look further down the tunnel, so this tunnel ramps up in one direction and ramps down in another direction. So as you look in the downward direction, you see one more pod that you are able to put together is what the unconscious human that you guys knocked out came out of. And further down the line, these are strung out against the wall, down and down. And as you look upwards, you see other pods going up as well. These ones going up, make a perception check since you asked the question there. Bran? Did I say that right?
I have a question. You got time?
Branbrek, but Bran works.
Okay. All right, Branbrek. Make a perception check.
I guess I need to investigate.
I need a new dice. Perception?
Yeah.
I rolled a 5, so that's a 4.
Sure is dark in here. But yeah, you can see these pods. They're dimly lit going up in both directions.
Gotta get that sleep out of my eye. Alright. Well,
yeah,
any of you good at being a little bit more of the sleuth type here? I don't recall what your skill sets are, and I don't even really recall meeting you all, but apparently we did.
You had a question, Hargus?
Yes. I would like to examine the pods.
Yeah.
Like, you know where we were. Is there, like, evidence of pressure or, being organic? Are the ones deeper down possibly older and gnarlier looking, and the ones higher up fresher looking?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Alright. Not sure what I need. Oh. I want to...
Not that?
One?
Yeah. You kind of walk over to him and you're looking around trying to rub the sleep out of your eyes.
That's the sound of a dice being retired.
Yeah. and as you're getting close, like walking away from the group, Chester looks over at you and he's just like, Hargus, we don't have time for this. Let's go. There's more of them in here. We got to get moving.
Time to go. Let's go.
All right.
I don't do an accent for too long. Sorry.
No, you guys are good. I'm going to forget at times too. But, alright. Are any of you good at sneaking around?
Oh.
I'm good at killing stuff. Get into stuff.
Alright, well, let me go ahead.
Okay. So
And I'm going to attempt to sneak.
Okay.
And take the lead.
Okay.
Got the worst perception probably out of our group, but I'm pretty darn stealthy.
Are we going to, we'll say this is everyone stealthing along as best they can then?
Well, I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, you might say. I think I could add something to this.
Manage
at least to my own stealth.
Okay. All right, let's everyone make a stealth check.
We sneak like this.
Okay, stealth check.
12.
12? Okay.
Stealth check, and I can add my...
Also, do you guys want to change your... Do you guys want to change your nicknames in the chat so that we know each other's names a little better? I changed mine.
Yeah, good call.
And that's a 12 for my stealth.
All right. What about you, Branbrek?
24.
Oh, nice. Okay. Hargus?
Well, I'm not sure how to do it. I'm supposed to be able to add my proficiencies to my skill check.
Yeah. So what'd you get on the die?
I just re-rolled it. I don't remember what I rolled, but now I've rolled a 1.
All right.
Okay, that one's gone.
Okay.
Maybe somebody should hold my hand.
Are you letting Hargus take the lead a little bit, though, as he was volunteering to take the lead?
And then I follow my face, right?
Okay. So how much of a lead do you guys want to give Branbrek as he goes ahead? How much distance do you give him to walk ahead?
Downwind, do you stay from me?
I'll go in the back and watch our tail just in case that other human comes back or something else. So.
Okay. All right. So Branbrek, you start moving along. As you walk up this corridor, you see a few more of these pods stretched along every 5 foot or so in between pods, and then there's one of these, 5 to 6 foot long pods. They're very similar in shape, but they're not like cookie cutter. They're not cut from the exact same mold. They have this slight difference in them, and as you're kind of looking around, you can come up and kind of glance inside these ones that are higher up, and I know you're interested in looking at them, so why don't you make another perception check as you glance into these things as you walk along.
That would be a 5.
5. Wow. Yeah.
What's the chances?
It's spooky in here, man, and
at least we're consistent.
Yeah, and you don't want to spend much time looking at them, so you're just kind of glancing by, and then you keep moving up, because you are trying to be very stealthy. And you know what? You are being very stealthy. You can feel yourself moving very quietly along, and some of us are less stealthy, but. As you guys move up along...
I feel like that's a personal attack.
Yeah, don't feel bad. As you move
At least
along,
I'm cheerful about it.
Exactly. You got to be cheerful about it. But Branbrek, as you move up this corridor, you move for another 5 minutes, moving stealthily along, kind of keeping to the wall, and make a perception check. Bran?
Okay, let's use the different dice. Natural 20, so 19.
All right. As you're coming up along and you're approaching this curve, you hear probably 15 foot ahead of you some faint shifting sounds, like wood scraping on wood a little bit, and then a slight clank of metal, just slight shifting organization sounds. And you get the sense that there is at least one person pretty nearby, but as you listen closely and start to dial in, you can hear the echoes change slightly, and you figure there's probably 3 people in this room up ahead of you.
I do hand signals for half a moment, and then realize they can't see it, and then I stop.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm gonna move a little bit further ahead to see if I can get an actual eyesight on them.
Okay. So yeah, you can... Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get ahead before the others catch up so that I could return before they alert them.
Yep. Yeah, so you continue moving up along, and as you kind of come up to this door and start looking around the edge and looking in, you can see another slightly better lit room, as if there are some lamps or torches in there, and you can hear that movement going around in there, that shuffling and stuff. So with your stealth, you kind of move to the other side of the hallway now on the inside wall and just peek around the corner, and inside you can see 3 darkly clothed humanoid figures moving around, just kind of sifting through things on some large tables in the center of the room. And
stuff is what you're saying. I hear you.
And as you're leaning there, checking out, trying to figure out your next plan, Branbrek, you feel a couple bodies bump into the back of you, and some breathing on your neck, and you hear Hargus.
This is a little creepy.
Yeah, you hear Hargus go like, "What do you see in there?" And one of the heads looking down at the table, you watch Branbrek as it goes, "Hmm?" and spies.
Hey, what's going on in there?
And he spies a little dwarf eye peeking around the corner, and he goes, "Hey!" And he grabs one of these other
He
figures.
can see me in this dimly lit stuff.
Well, the light's kind of streaming out, and
Get him with my thumbnail.
yeah,
I got the dice for it
he's
now.
peeking you. This is probably a good time to roll initiative.
Okay.
Alright, green dice. Oh, that's not
I
green.
do a slow turn and a long sigh as I turn in the face.
I'm so sorry.
Ready the knife.
Alright,
Very
we'll
nice
read our
stance.
characters tomorrow. But I'm gonna do them pizza.
Let's see.
Hey, Aaron, do you want like an assistant DM to handle initiative for you, or do you have a system that works well?
Actually, yeah. If you want to just give me the order here in a second, that'd be cool.
I got 11.
18.
Oh, that would be a 3 plus my dexterity, I believe. So 7. Yes. Yeah, I'm a powerhouse. I'm gonna have to go out and buy more dice. Or a bigger dice bag.
All right. So you okay with being this little guy, Branbrek, for now? Little dwarf
It's a
guy.
dwarf, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a bit more stout than I am,
yeah.
but
Hargus, I got you. Him for now.
Oh, nice. I like the cape.
Dakren. Oh, yeah. And then, what do you think, Dakren? You want to be this guy with the bow, or be this fellow here for now? You want to be a gift for today?
Sure, that would
Yeah, right.
good.
We'll have
look at Dakren, all 3D and stuff.
I know. I'm so behind on painting.
No, you're good.
I feel like mailing you figures.
Yeah. We'll wait until you are sure you're going to stick with us before you start giving me stuff.
Yeah,
Come on in now. I gotta redeem myself after all these low.
All right.
you want to make sure that your character's not dead before the mail shipment arrives.
All right. So
Reasonable character.
Just let me know any other initiatives, Aaron.
okay.
Hargus' twin brother, Hargus, with a
Hargus.
Z.
Good old Gus.
Next one is
Have you got
Hargus.
Have you got that order, Austin?
Keep it all together, please.
Yeah. Branbrek, then me, then Hargus.
$100 too much.
I'm in the middle of this. Then why'd you do it?
And
A sexy skateboard. I understand. I'll pull you behind my bicycle. I've seen you skateboard. I'll get the rope out.
The weirdest thing for Branbrek right now is that he just had a very tall old man back up into him in the buck.
It's alright, dude. I got the baggy whiteys on.
I'm also
take
a
that from me.
dwarf.
The mystery green slime stains on them.
Yeah.
All the rage,
all right.
apparently.
All right. Bran, you're up first.
I'm gonna be all the rage in white for these undies on.
So only the one noticed me, right?
Yeah, and he kind of was like,
Which
And
one was that?
this guy right here, looking right out the door. This fella. Sorry, I'm gonna turn him this way. There we go. This fella right here, closest to the door.
Okay. Question for you as a DM.
Yes, sir.
Is it possible for me to do cunning action to dash and still get my sneak attack off on one of the other two that has not noticed me?
Do you get it if they haven't gone in initiative yet?
There's an assassin thing for that
But you don't have that?
specifically.
Okay.
But that's to give the assassination. As far as I know, as long as they aren't able to
See you.
if your movement is in the same turn as the attack, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that it would just be if they didn't see you, you'd get advantage.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
so
technically the other
guys,
two have not seen me yet,
Yep,
but I
for
would
sure.
have to dash to get to them.
Yep, for sure for those other two.
How far is the guy on the right-hand side of the board? The one.
This guy here.
Yeah. Is that your right or left?
We'll go with how you guys are viewing it. So we've got
Okay.
the right hand side
So-
over here and left side over here.
We should put
Stage
a
left.
compass on the board.
Yeah, well,
and then we
let's-
could use that.
Let's just call this way south and that way north. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the east side, that guy, how many steps is away from me?
Yeah, it looks like probably around 25, 30, something like that. You got to
Alright,
kind
I will run up to him. If I have to, I will use my cunning action to bonus dash.
Okay. So we'll say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, 25 just gets you to there. So yeah, you'd have to dash up to him.
Yeah.
And you want to shank him in the shiv?
I'll come around to the far side of him if I can.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With my movement.
A low Naruto roll, duck behind the table, and
More like run by, feint to punch him in the groin, and then I turn and I stab him in the side.
all right, make an attack roll.
Alright. Don't fail me this time. That would be a 17 to hit.
That will hit. Roll that attack.
Alright. Do I get my sneak attack on top of that?
Yes, because he did not see you coming.
Well then, that would be a total of 9 damage.
Ooh, all right. You take this thing and shove it straight up into the underside of his ribs, and you feel it go up and hit a lung, and he just goes.
Yeah.
And he kind of drops down, and he's like, as you're pulling it out, you can see him twitch a little bit, like just barely hanging on to life.
Yeah. And I will say, that's what you get for disrespecting an ironwood!
Yeah, take him the candy comes out.
Oh gosh. That's my turn.
All
As long
right.
as we're doing it.
As you come running around, this guy here, takes a look at you, and he goes like, "Oh, son of a!" And he reaches down on the side, and he's just gonna pull out a dagger and just try and chuck it at you.
Okay.
This table, what are you, 5 foot high? You got like half cover going over this table, so.
I'm only 4'3".
Oh man, yeah. So we'll call it.
If it's 4 foot high, then I'm shorter than the table.
Yeah, 3/4 cover, and let's see. All right, so that's a 15 on the die, so a 17. How's that treat you? Oh no, plus your cover, so plus 4 to
5 on mine.
Yeah,
I
so
have
what's-
17.
Yeah, so he's gonna miss then with that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so he chucks it off, and it skips off the table and goes bouncing off to the side of you, and so now there's another
Can
dagger.
I make a reaction to grab that dagger as it bounced?
Yeah, make we'll just call it a dex sleight of hand. Yeah, sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand?
Yeah, sure. Quick. Ding ding.
That would be a 19 total.
As it skips off and goes going by you, you grab it backwards like that, and you've got
Okay.
2 daggers now.
Alright, excellent.
He's going to try and run around. So that he chucked that. He's going to try and run around, and he heard some sounds out there, so he's gonna run this way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's gonna go to there. Okay.
Ooh.
Next up is Dakren.
I'm gonna kind of rush in, look around.
Sorry, you're here.
Let's see. Let's see. I probably can't approach any of them.
Yeah, a little
Complete.
range. You got about 10 foot of movement left for your just normal.
I'm gonna try and dash up to that one on the right, the one that Branbrek is
Okay.
or just killed, I guess. Right? Is that guy dead?
No, he's not.
You see him like on the table, like barely, like almost immobile. He's
Oh, okay. I'll actually go the other way then. I'll go around the other side of the table.
actually
Who's armed and who's not?
hard to tell at this point. It'd take a little more intensive observation to like pick up them. But as you run in, Dakren, you see a bunch of stuff scattered on the table here too. Branbrek, you see the same thing. There's stuff kind of scattered, laid out all across this table. Why don't you both make quick perception checks?
So,
Of our players.
What'd you get, Dakren?
16.
16. Okay. And Branbrek?
What were you having me roll? Sorry.
Perception. As you kind of glance over the table real quick.
17.
On your tippy toes.
You can both see your weapons on the table there. A familiar weapon to you, Dakren, and same for you there, Branbrek. A belt, I assume, with some of your favorite things in it. So.
As soon as I see my old long sword, the dagger just falls out of my hand, and I just go up and grab it instead.
Okay, so you want to run up to here and grab it then onto the table instead of approaching that guy? Okay, yeah, so you can just...
Yeah, I rush towards that guy, and then I notice my longsword, and it just falls out of my hand, and I'm just like...
Yeah, you could get next to it here, and then reach over, and we'll just call that your bonus action next turn.
Sounds good.
Well, of course, you use your action to dash, so yeah. So you got your bonus action?
Yeah.
So you grab it with your bonus action, and you got your weapon there.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Ting, ting. Okay.
and that's my turn.
All right. This guy is a little concerned. He's going to run around, and he's going to jump up here. We'll see how his athletics go to jump across the table. Nope, not good. He tries to jump on it, falls flat on his face.
Impales himself?
Yeah, not quite that,
Shame on it.
but it wasn't a 1, so he uses half his movement to stand up, so that has cost him almost all of his movement. So instead of doing anything very effective, half, he can get to here though. He's just gonna swing down on you with this club that he pulls out of a belt loop. Yeah, you got a big old sword now, so you're scary. Oh, natural 20. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Dakren.
I know, that's what happens. Bring it on.
All right, so that's 7 points of bludgeoning damage as he brings this club right down on top of your noggin. Dunk. And that's his turn.
As soon as he does that, my eyes suddenly flash red, and I point my finger at him, and fire blasts at him. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Tell us your rebuke.
How does a 10 do?
That just saves.
Does it really? Oh man.
But he
half
still
damage?
takes half damage, and so I'll roll that real quick. Ooh, I rolled pretty good. He takes 7 points of fire damage.
Okay. So yeah,
7 for 7.
yeah, you see him like as it bursts out from your hand, he kind of dodges to the side and gets his whole body out of it, but his entire lower half is in there. And you just see him, like a lot of the not robes, but these pants, loose-fitting pants that he's wearing just burn off, and you can just smell this cooked flesh, and he's like stumbles down to a knee, looking extremely injured.
My eyes go back to their normal gray color, and I kind of look around, sort of embarrassed.
No one noticed. No one noticed. Hargus, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna, because I know my limitations so far, I'm gonna just do the bum rush, making it as big and trying to be as big and loud as I can with my junk out.
All right.
And,
Yeah, you're buck naked. Saying the bum rush at this moment is kind of scary.
well, that's happening. Yeah, I'm trying to distract them from the half-pint reserve.
I'm sure they are, but I'm clutching too.
I'm trying to put some fire to help them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
That's
come
what I'm
running
doing.
in. You've got about 15 feet of normal movement left, and then you've got your action. So you see this
Okay.
guy up here. Strangely, he's only bottom half naked and horribly burned. You don't know what's going on there.
He's just dressed for action, isn't he?
Very confusing. Very confusing. There's a guy here sandwiched between these two, and then there's this one guy kind of way in the back, looking concerned.
I'll probably go for the guy on the table. He seems like he's got the
Okay.
advantage over everybody right now,
Yeah.
right?
So you take a running leap. You go up to here, and you jump to try and tackle him, huh? The old.
That's it.
The old Hargus special.
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah. Make
Maybe some shin skin.
an athletics check.
Here we go.
This is to combo your
Like dexterity.
jump tackle. This would be strength, because you're jumping and trying to tackle.
Okay.
It's a combination jump tackle.
15.
15.
15.
Okay, that will hit his armor class and suitably get you. Boom! And you tackle him down, and he drops. And as you hit him in the legs, you've got this unpleasant sensation as you feel cloth tearing, like the sensation of that give, and then kind of a wet, slidey tear. And you realize, oh man, there's no cloth there. That was just like you marshmallow peeled him with the leg.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Just consistent, aren't I?
He's gonna take. He takes a.
I'll go with it!
Yeah. He takes 1 point of damage as you rip the burnt flesh from his legs in this tackle.
It's just really going good with the goose line.
Yeah. All right. Good one.
I'll Christmas later.
These guys are going to move up here. They're kind of 5, 10, 15. Yeah, they're going to hold at the front here. They can't quite get their full movement. Help as Jasper helps Chester move along, and they're peeking in. And after that, Jasper's going to use the rest of his movement to look down at Chester and just go, all right, you stay here and just take care of yourself. Yell out if anyone else comes. And he comes into the room. He can only get to there. He'll use the rest of his... He's short, he can't really see anything. So he's just going to stay there by the door, not really knowing what to do. And after that, this guy is going to... Ooh, he's concerned. He does not like how this is going. But he's going to pull out this crossbow and level it at Branbrek's back. Does not have advantage per se because it's ranged attack. So he's just going to do a straight attack roll against you, Branbrek.
Okay. From that angle?
Fair point. He'll move over.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He already tried this once.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be stupid, but I don't think he's that dumb.
That's true. He moved in my head. He takes a couple steps over because you see him like angle with his crossbow like this for a second, go, no, I can't do that, and then he wiggles over and takes a shot at you. That's a 9 on the die. So how does a 12 do?
12 is my AC.
Okay. So that's gonna hit with this crossbow he's got. Thankfully, it's only a light crossbow, so it's only 5 points of piercing damage
Ouch.
as he hits you in the shoulder. Okay, that's his turn, and that brings us back to the top with Bran.
Alright, so person on the table, dead or alive?
He got hurt so badly that I made him do a con save to see if he was going to pass out. Because I like the idea of massive damage having the potential to knock you out just because you've like lost more than half your life with a single hit. So I had him roll a con save. He rolled a 19 con save, so he is barely holding on, but still conscious.
Okay. So, can I reach him because I am short?
Oh, the guy on the table. I thought you meant the guy in front of you.
Yes, the guy on the table.
Yeah, you can reach him. He's basically within range of you. So.
Yeah, and I was wondering if the guy on the table was also alive.
Yes, both these guys are still alive. This guy here in the middle is right in front of you. He had kind of slumped onto it, and he's the one you hurt real bad. This guy.
And I can't go under this table, right? It's just a stone slab.
No, you could go under it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to hold the dagger so that I have the hilts out. I'm going to non-lethally strike both of these guys.
Okay.
Because I'm dual wielding right now.
Okay, so let's do your main hand against what? The guy in front of you first?
The guy in front of me first.
Okay. All right.
Who is this guy?
All right, go ahead and attack.
As I'm gritting my teeth from the pain in my shoulder, let's go for the first one.
Okay.
Oof. That is an 8 for the first attack, so probably a miss.
Yes, that is a miss. I'm sorry. You kind of swing it down, and as they're struggling, you kind of have to deflect just at the last second so you don't actually accidentally hit Hargus there, and it hits the table.
So I'll roll with the other then, and that is unfortunately a miss as well. That's 7.
7, okay. Yeah, so again, they're just struggling around too hard to hit them. And
stay still, you blackass! And then I'm going to shuffle underneath the table.
Alright.
Just take a lower stance and go underneath on his left.
Yeah,
kind of shuffle around to the bottom. Yes.
Okay.
So basically, you can stick me on the right-hand side of Austin's character.
Yep, that'll call you. That'll be your whole movement to do a army crawl under the table, dwarven army crawl.
No, I'm staying under the table.
Oh, you're gonna stay under there? Okay.
I'm just moving under and taking a squat stance.
There you go. You're there. Under the table.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright. Let's see. This will get it back to number 1. Actually.
Don't forget to use your short stature.
Yeah. I actually got these two guys' orders reversed accidentally, so this guy will go in his stead since he went last time. So he'll just make an attack straight against you. He's going to kind of pull himself up and draw a short sword from his side and just try and stab at you. They're tracking. 5? Does a 5 hit? No? Okay. Yeah. He kind of lurches forward. Yeah.
Carry it.
You'd have a big negative. Yeah. Yeah, he kind of weakly lurches at you, and yeah, without an issue, you just smack it to the side, and he kind of slumps on the table again, looking at the end of his rope. All right. Next up is Dakren.
Alright, I'm gonna take my sword in both hands and just try and run this guy through.
Okay.
That is a 20.
That just hits.
Alright, so that's a... 7 points of damage.
He's laying there on the side, almost half prone on the table, propped up on one elbow, and he kind of watches as the arc of the sword just comes and straight in and
the bad end
tops the head.
And then I suddenly just grab my shoulder and I'm just like, oh, can't do two-handed. And then I point my sword at that other guy. I'm actually going to walk right up to him with the rest of my movement and just be like, "You best start giving us some answers, friend, unless you want to end up like them."
This is sorry for somebody touching my stuff.
All right. Yeah, as you're approaching, he's loading another bolt in his crossbow, looking at you. Looks fairly frightened of this situation. Hargus, you're up, man. You got a guy under you. You've kind of worked your way into a half mounted position. Your hands have a weird sticky goop on them.
This situation is getting worse and worse.
It smells like burnt hair.
If he's struggling
and grinds.
continue to fight, I'm going to attempt to grab his head and bounce it off the tables.
Okay. Just make an attack roll. Straight attack roll.
I will pick a new dice for this one.
We'll say you have advantage because you've already got him.
18!
All right. Roll with advantage in case you crit on him.
20. 20 for my upgrade.
So you definitely hit, but roll one more time to see if you crit on him because you got advantage.
13.
Okay, so yeah,
13
he's struggling around. You work your way up and you like grab his head from the front, just straight on the face, and just bring it up and straight into the table. Roll a 1d4 plus your strength.
Please don't break the table. I'm underneath it.
That would be a 4. 4 altogether.
Okay. You bring it up and you slam it down, and you hear the sound somewhat between like wet wood being stepped on, like in the forest when you like go through a log. There's like a and a watermelon splat, and as you look, you see that the edge of another blade is there. Not the blade itself, but the handle of a blade, the hilt, and you've just buried his head into the hilt of this blade that was sticking up on the table, and he is down for sure.
His egg is busted.
Yeah.
All right.
Call him the cook.
Okay. All right.
Keep working on that one-liner, murder.
As let's see. All right, Jasper's not sure what's going on, so he's just gonna move up here a little bit
Sir Hargus ran away.
and jump up on the table.
Monty Python.
Just kind of look around, like, is everyone all right? You guys doing good? And that's pretty much it, though. And
it's hard for me to say right now. The situation just does not suggest good. I wish I had an apron on.
yeah, he looks down at what you're doing and just like, are you guys making pork rinds and
I feel it! My joke's in it, I feel it, believe me!
there's so much water. Why is there so much saliva in my mouth? It's and
alright, puppy.
yeah, he's in there. And then at that moment, from outside, you hear just a piercing scream. Just a loud piercing scream. Just and you can see from the door a slump figure come from there, and entering the room behind him, stepping over, is another darkly clad figure, looking
oh dang,
a little bit more capable than some of these guys, has just entered the room, and he surveys the scene and goes, the livestock has to return to its sleep, and kind of just shakes a long sword off to the side as he looks at you all.
What's the theme song for Here's the Boss? Who's the boss?
I believe it's
sorry.
You take the good, you take the bad, you take something else. No, wait, that's the Facts of Line. I don't know.
Same difference.
Yeah,
they were all kind of bossy.
Yeah. All right, Bran, you're up.
All right. take a look around. I'm gonna come out from underneath the table.
Okay.
Do I see my rapier on the table then?
Yeah. Make just a quick perception check. No, you did it before.
Oh,
You passed it earlier. You passed it before. Yeah,
Okay.
you see it. You can grab it.
Alright, so
Yeah, bonus
I'll
action to grab it.
swap to grab that rapier for my main hand, and then how much movement do I have left to get around to that guy?
The guy who
Up
just
at the
walked
top,
in,
that
or
Austin.
okay. We'll say
That-
it was half your movement to stand up, so you got 5, 10,
Oh, I was
15.
prone? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for that squat walk is more or less a crawl.
Okay. So I don't have much movement.
So you
left
could
then.
get-
I'll just move up a little bit, as much as I can, towards the top there.
15. We'll round up to get you around the corner there.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got him
And
right in front of you there.
can I flip the dagger into my other hand and then chuck it at the guy?
Absolutely, yep. A flip and a whip.
So, throw that. That would be a 19 total,
That'll hit.
and Austin's engaged with him.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to find a spell.
That would be 8 total damage.
8 total, okay. Massive hit. The dagger flies out of your hand and just buries into the side of his neck, and you see it grabs it and it's embedded in the neck. You can see it like probably cut some tendons, and he's looking kind of loose neck there. Total of 8. you
Loosen
said,
up a bit.
right? Let's. I'm gonna give him that. Okay, so he hits, and actually, as he hits, he drops down to one knee, and he looks like he's kind of blacking out.
Okay.
He's dropped down. He's prone there.
Wow, you did.
Yeah, he's still alive, but he's taken some massive damage. Looking pretty rough. So good. Are you gonna stay where you are? Oh yeah, that's right. Those are full movement.
I have no more movement.
So, yes. Good
Okay.
call. Good call. Hargus, what would you like to do?
Well, I guess I better
release your
stay
hand.
consistent.
Yeah.
What do you
Actually,
mean
you
by
know what? I
that?
declared myself, so I'm just going to stick with my foolery. Scrambling all over the table looking for magic components that I realize that is a total waste of time now.
Well,
So-
make a perception check. Yeah, as you're on the you're in the midst of everything. So let's see what you see.
Because, you know, I'm laying on the table in this situation,
There's a lot going on.
and I'm scrambling around for stuff frantically, and then I realize, oh, okay, perception check. 15, I believe. 15.
15 total. Yeah. So you what are you looking for? You see what you're looking for.
I was trying to find my spell components,
Yeah. You see it.
and I'm trying to do Tasha's hideous laughter,
Okay.
and I believe I have to touch. I believe I have to touch him for that. That's
Nope.
what I was trying to look up.
No, it's a ranged attack, and you are definitely within range. So, yeah, you see
It's
it.
all a joke.
You see your
It's going to look
components.
even more foolish.
Yeah.
Keep in mind what's going on here, and I'm waving a feather, and I've got some tarts in the other hand. So it's
I start laughing. I'm laughing. So,
As he comes around the corner, as he comes around the corner and beholds this this naked man standing on top of a table with a feather waving and a tart in his hand, just like taking a small bite out of it, and saying, "Come get some."
yeah. You like what you see?
And you like that, you let it.
Little miniature feather dance. Just
I don't know what to think of that.
it's just all coming together for me.
all right. So that's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, I would need to make a wisdom saving throw for that myself.
That's for the whole. That's for the whole party. How's a 4? How's a 4 do?
19.
Okay, so yeah, he sees you wiggling this feather over your nether bits and crumbling this target as you poof it at him, and he goes. You see this look of just disdain and arrogance going.
He just breaks down.
He just drops.
Is it a black bear?
Yeah. That's prone, right? It's prone too. So yeah, you see him drop like to one knee, holding the sword, and he's like pinning it on the ground, trying to hold himself up, and he just and like topples over, and he's prone. Okay.
It makes its own comedy.
Okay, that's awesome.
What is our group?
It's the best group ever. All right. Actually, that brings it to Jasper's turn.
Jasper's turn.
Jasper is going to make a perception check and see. Okay, good. Yeah, he sees a long. If you're listening, Scott, please note he sees an extremely long staff. Well, long for him. And as he reaches down and draws out this rich wood staff of beautiful mahogany color, he picks it up, and it's very straight, almost like a walking staff. And from his over-the-top position, looking down at this now prone individual, he reaches it forward, grabs a string that is along the edge of it, and pulls it back, grabbing an arrow out of a quiver as he rises and fires an arrow directly.
Full circle.
I couldn't believe when you said that. I was just like, it was just so bizarre. Let's see here. Okay, he actually misses. So sadly, he fires the arrow, and even with this guy rolling around on the ground, it was where he was a second ago, but then he rolled in his spasms of laughter, and you see the arrow as it fires out this arrow shaft, as it's about to hit, it kind of bursts into flame at the last second, and burns up a little mote of fire on the ground next to where he lies. But he missed, and that is his turn. It is this new fellow's turn now. He gets another wisdom. Is it the beginning of his turn or the end of his turn, Scott? I don't recall.
Tosh is his laughter.
Yeah, does he get another save at the beginning or end of his turn?
That's actually what I was looking at here.
Offhand, I do not recall.
At the end of his turn.
End of his turn. Okay, so he spends his turn.
I'm not as prepared as I'd like to be.
No, it's all right.
I'll get there.
I suspected, but
that's going to happen to all of us.
I didn't want to cheat.
At the end of each of his turns, and each time he takes damage, the target can make another wisdom save.
Well, seeing as how Jasper totally missed with his shot, he will make the save at the end of his turn. Hey, how about a 4? That was a 2. A 2 on the die. All right.
Wow, maybe you should switch sides and run with us.
I know. You see him rolling around, continuing to laugh hilariously as this little fireball bursts in front of his face, and he goes...
There's almost nothing more disrespectful to a prideful warrior who is like staunch and steadfast and like this like Black Knight, Death Knight, or whatever else, a vanguard of some disposition, to be completely made a fool of and crumpled mess by a bard.
Just laughing
by a bard in this situation.
By a buck-naked bard. Yeah. So he continues to laugh.
In slime and gore.
Yeah, like a fool.
This is not the glorious death he was looking for, but it's going to be.
It's going to be.
Okay. Whose turn is it?
It is Bran's turn.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'll yell to, let's see, do I want to do that? Yeah. Dakren, see if you can knock him out. He seems more talkative than the other guy. And I'm going to cunning action dash and movement, see if I can get to the prone gentleman that walked in.
Okay. So, let's see, you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, or 25 there.
I only have 25.
And then bonus to get there. So yeah, with your bonus action dash, you're right there. He is prone in front of you, and you know what that means.
Alright. Yep, sorry to do this to you, but don't need you talking.
Using your rapier?
That will be with advantage.
With advantage, yes.
Natural 20. I rolled a 16 and a 20, so natural 20 on my sneak attack and my... Now question, are we doing non-lane criticals? If not, that's fine. I just wanted to know, because I gotten used to that.
Non-what?
Austin's home.
Max die one?
Yeah, the max die critical.
Yeah, sure. I'm okay with that.
Oh, if that's the case.
Is that what you did with the critical against me?
No. I just rolled double. I like rolling more dice, so I just prefer the roll double the dice than myself personally. But
we can just do that for this round if you want. Like it should just be consistent because we shouldn't do more than that.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Maybe just roll double dice this one time, or single times 2, whatever.
Well, it won't matter because I rolled an 8 and a 7 on the D8 side, and I rolled a 4 and 2 on the other, so I rolled a total of 8, 14 plus 9, 25 points of damage.
Ooh. And in the first one shot, you bring your rapier around, and as he's laughing, you wait for the right moment, and you just bring it
straight through the throat.
Yeah, and out the backside. It goes through the eyeball, through the throat, through the brainstem, and just. And as you pull it out, your rapier makes a resonant as you flick the blood off.
That was better than the schlock I was thinking of.
And then, as a common habit, I do the fencing, pull it up to the middle, and then slow swish off to the side.
Yep, awesome. Yeah, he is dead.
Yeah.
And as you look around, the fellow on the well, there's still the fellow on the ground back there, so we're not quite done yet. So,
because of your Tasha's, he died in one attack because of that advantage.
That was a really good roll too, though.
We managed to humiliate him totally on top of murdering him.
Yeah, I'm actually really happy I rolled a 7 and an 8 there, but my gosh.
Okay, so
plus the sneak attack being doubled, that was the big deal.
It hurts, but I can't stop it.
Yeah, I mean, a crit on a sneak attack that's big news. Bad news bears. Bad news bears. So well done, Bram. All right, Dakren, you're up next. This guy is looking real rough on the ground in front of you. Still kind of struggling around, trying to move.
Okay, I'm going to I'm gonna just thrust my longsword through his leg so he can't move.
Okay. All right. Make an attack roll with advantage.
Just like pierce them together.
Yeah, just like pin it to the floor. 21 with advantage.
That will hit. So roll for a damage.
All right, this is non-lethal if it kills him.
I mean, stabbing a sword through someone's leg. They're gonna bleed out.
9?
They were all bad.
Was that 9 damage?
Maybe he just got offered the wrong job.
as he's like wiggling around, you're like,
this guy is still toe boots for the new job.
I should pin those legs together. So you kind of wait until he's like slightly shuffled to the side, and you bring it down right through his quads, sideways through both quads, and you and you're like, he won't be going anywhere. And then
I went too into this. It's making me clench.
There's like someone took a 5-gallon bucket of paint and poured it around him with blood just pooling outward.
Somebody hit the major.
As you did almost his entire original health in one blow.
I'm gonna walk over and just kneel down next to his face, and I'll just be like, "Yeah, you don't got much time now. You best start talking, friend."
No, he's so dead.
Oh, you're so smooth.
He's so dead. Yeah, he's so dead. You did almost his entire health point in that one stab. So he had only two
That's harsh.
HP left. So he's super dead.
In that case, as the light fades from his eyes, my eyes flicker red a little bit, and I get 2 temporary hit points.
Oh man, yeah, nice.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's so dark.
Okay, Jasper
Or are you the
gets a
darkness?
chance to go. He's pretty freaked out. He runs over here, grabs Chester and pulls him in, and starts trying to administer to him. Sorry, this is not a door, so it stays open. And he's trying to pack the wounds, trying to do things. You see him look up at the table, and he says, "One of you, please, hand me that bag there, please." And he kind of points at this.
I'm on the table. I'm already scrambling through it, so I'll just.
Yeah, chuck him the bag. Yeah, he grabs it, pulls out.
I'm going to grab the first article of clothing that looks like mine and put my pants on.
Oh, I thought you were getting me some pants.
I will be throwing pants at you next.
Yeah. He's going to do a medicine check on Chester real quick. We'll see how he does. Okay. So yeah, he scrambles and he's looking around and he's like putting a hand on this massive wound in the center of Chester's chest, and he's putting his hand on there, pushing down as he's fumbling for a bottle that he pulls out of his pack. And as he looks down, he just kind of slumps and leans against the wall and just kind of lays back and just shakes his head.
So he's gone.
You see Jasper go. He's just, I don't even think there's anything left of his heart. That giant blade of his just no.
I don't want to pull you out of the game, but I haven't picked my third. I have 3 spells to pick. I can pick a healing spell.
Yeah, I mean,
If you want.
this guy was able to walk up behind Chester. Chester had been, you could tell from before, he'd been cut up a whole bunch. Like he had fought his way in, was fighting the guy. He was real rough out there, and then this guy came up behind him and just coup de grace basically. So, he's
Kind of like that other guy.
a lot like So,
healing spell would be good. So I would recommend getting that for our sake later. So could be
The healing spell?
yeah. So you guys,
I think it could be.
you guys look now around your
Look at
table in
it.
front of you, and you see all your gear as you're looking around. There's other gear as well that you see kind of a variety of things scattered around. So you could all get your gear back on hurriedly if you want. It'll take about 10 minutes for you to get all dressed up and geared up and donning all your armor and getting everything ready. So.
I'll try to scrape some of the goo off before I put my clothes back on.
As you're doing that, you see
Maybe use the edge of a knife
Yeah.
and kind of scrape.
Jasper stands up and he looks at you guys and goes, "Well, you all took some hits back there. Do you want a healing potion? I have one here. I usually prepare them. So is anyone you look pretty hurt there?" And he kind of nods over at you, Dakren and Branbrek. You both look pretty rough, actually.
None of this is mine. I'm okay.
I know you look right. Could you please put
You only
some,
got me in the shoulder. I'm doing pretty
could you
good.
put some pants on?
Better than the chin scrape, though.
Could you,
I wouldn't mind having that healing potion. Thanks.
Jasper? It's Jasper. What was Dak?
That's
Dak was it? Dakren?
name's Dakren. Yeah, if you have a spare potion, I'd be happy to do that. Especially if there's more of those guys in here. Never know.
Yeah, he hands. He's like, all right. Well, these potions aren't bad, but I've also got a poultice that I make, and the poultice does really well. So whoever is hurt, real bad too, I could give them a poultice. Depending on the potency of the herbs I get, the poultice tends to vary in effectiveness, but the healing potions are pretty consistent. So I could do
What's wrong?
one of each, I think.
Here's your shit.
What do you gentlemen think? Should we take a rest here for a bit? Bind our wounds?
Well,
Getting out of here.
I
Well,
don't know if we should without some investigation.
I feel like a rest is what put us in this danger,
That's a good point.
but
We'll get out of here soon.
a short reprieve, take a moment to get our bearings and talk over what everybody remembers. I think I remember you. Wow.
Which one?
The drink hasn't worn off, apparently. I can't think of your name, Austin. Dragon.
Dakren.
Dakren. I think I remember you, Dakren, from the war.
Oh,
Something.
how long ago?
Were you in the third Hobgoblin War? Just a couple months ago?
Yeah, it's something that's kind of tied to my family. I don't know if you've heard of Ironwood, one of the heroes in that war.
What regiment were you? What platoon?
Honestly, we were part of a unit that was meant to go behind the lines and assassinate key figures, generals and stuff.
Okay, yeah, I was on the front lines, so hurt my shield arm really bad. I used to be really good with the shield, but now I can't even carry one. Can't even use a weapon two-handed without hurting it. I hurt myself pretty bad back there swinging that, but I'll get better, I bet. Anyway, good to see a fellow brother of the war. Do you have a tattoo?
I would. In fact, it would be in the shoulder, probably, that I got shot in. So,
yeah, I just kind of like sport mine a little bit, just sort of as like a salute to you, sort of fellow soldier.
So, a little bit more on that later, but for the moment, I guess RP-wise, we'll just take a short rest and call it good from there, and just have end of game discussion. We're at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock for people.
Well, real quick.
Could I ask you a question about the situation? Mm-hmm. Can we bar these doors or spike them?
Yeah, so I was there's no actual door there. It's just another carved portion of it going into the room.
However, there is a giant table.
There's a table. And
are there any other doors in this place, or is that a closed room?
Yeah, this is just a roughly hemispherical room. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we could probably push the table against it and just kind of keep watch and just kind of take an hour to bind our wounds and stuff.
And
while we're oh, sorry, you first.
I was going to ask actually before we moved along, which one of you wanted? You guys are putting on your armor and stuff. You guys are all putting.
Yeah, I donned my leather armor.
Yeah. So actually, as you do that, you find that Dakren and Branbrek, both of you actually have a healing potion on with your gear.
Oh wow!
So in a place that is easy to access, you feel like
we'll add that.
So if you would like to use that to heal up, or whatever you're.
I mean, if we're doing a short rest, I can use a hit dice, but.
Well, I'd say we just chug a healing potion and get out of here before anything else happens.
I don't even need a healing potion. I only took 5 damage. I have 20 hit points.
I actually.
That's a quarter of your hit points.
That's pretty good.
I'll drink one though. That's 2d4 plus 2.
Correct. Yeah. And as you're drinking it, Jasper actually looks up and goes, "Oh, actually, that's one of mine. Looks like we really were traveling together." And he kind of feels his pockets and looks around. That would explain why I don't have any of my herbs left. I must have used everything to make these healing potions.
I see.
Hey, why don't you take this one back then? And I hand him.
I
offer him the other one.
I have a feeling you might be the one up front taking the hits, so I think I probably gave it to you for a reason, and you as well. Bran was it? Bran?
Branbrek.
Yes. It makes sense that if we were planning on going in here, I don't know how much gold you guys have, but I'm missing some from what I last remember. Maybe I used it to buy components to make healing potions and gave them to you guys.
I look for my coin purses. Do I have my money?
Yeah, so you notice about, let's see, there's 4, so yeah, you'd notice about 10 gold less than you would originally have thought you had. So
that's all of it then.
Oh, that's all of it? Okay, if that's all of it, then
yeah.
you've got two left.
Okay, Mike, yeah, it looks like I've either been robbed or maybe I bought something and don't remember what I bought.
While
everything else,
wine skin's still good, and I got my. Oof. Apparently, I'm carrying too much weight on me. Hold on.
burdened.
Well, as long as I'm covered in gore, I'm going to go ahead and check the dead and see what kind of armor they have on, because I know I couldn't afford to buy my own.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you look around, we'll just say you have your own set of leather armor that you can be wearing. So, yeah, you come with your own leather armor.
You just don't want the picture here, do you?
Oh no, I got one home. I want it. Yeah, you guys find yourself armored as you expected, missing a little bit of gold, not totally cleaned out, but it kind of makes sense. It seems like you guys had prepared in some ways to come into this, and something happened that you didn't account for. But
one of you guys want to search the bodies, see if they have any signets or any indication of who or what they belong to, what organization they are. I believe we have an idea. We need to go rescue some people that we originally came here for, and also this big sword fellow. What's he got wearing on him?
He's got studded leather armor. So it's
oh, you don't say.
Yeah, it's of decent quality. It's not like extremely elaborate or anything like that, but it looks like some fairly decent studded leather. Same with the longsword. It's functional, but not nothing like, wouldn't go like a noble court or anything like that. It looks like just a functional piece of steel. So
yeah.
So does someone want to check the bodies and someone else want to kind of check the rest of the room for kind of a loot drop sort of thing?
I'll investigate the bodies.
Okay. So
while they're doing that, I'm gonna strip him of his studded leather.
Okay. All right. You check.
Is it gonna fit a dwarf?
We'll find out.
I pull out my leather working toolkit.
You want to? Jasper will kind of help you out, so you can make that check with advantage as he gives you an assist. Kind of checking the room and everything. So if someone's helping you with something, you can roll with an advantage. So why don't you go ahead and roll with advantage for your investigation? Awesome.
Me?
Yeah, you said you wanted to check the bodies, right?
Yeah. Thank goodness for that advantage, because it was an extra 1, but now I got a 19.
19. Okay. Yes, very good. This is quite helpful. So as you are looking through the pockets and stuff, one's kind of off to the side, and you roll them over, and you're checking the back of them and everything, looking around. You get, from all the bodies together, you get a total of, let me check here. We'll see how much you get. 10. You get 22 gold, and they all have, they've each got a dagger, they've each got a short sword, and there's a few crossbows laying around, crossbow bolts, that sort of thing. So there's a variety of armor, it looks like, of personal use. And then as you go start looking around the edges of the room, you can see these cabinets are filled with lots of other clothes. Just piles of traveling clothes. Nothing looks extremely fancy or anything like that, but it looks like just sets of clothes. And they are just kind of stacked around in these little cabinets around the edge. As you're finishing up with your investigation, taking the last bit of coin off there, you see this one guy that you had finished off with the leg stab, and as he's laying there on the side, the way his head had turned to the side as he's like half crawling away, his hair has kind of like moved off to the side of his head, and you see like a weird kind of scar on the back portion of his neck. It's kind of like vertical up and down, like a weird kind of puckered looking line that goes along the back there, which just, it looks kind of odd. It's kind of a brilliant purplish color, like that raw pink purple scar color. It's like that, except just a little more vibrant.
This is interesting. By the way, I only lost 8 gold, so we can split up the rest of it, see if any of it's yours. I'll take 8 gold from the 22, leaving behind 14. And I'll just kind of toss that coin purse over to you guys. I'm going to just kind of look at this a little more carefully. I'm going to run my finger over it. Does it feel like a scar, or does it look like it was deliberately made, like a wound or some sort of surgery?
Yeah, do a medicine check.
13.
You two take 7 gold each. I'm good.
All
7
right.
gold?
Thank you, Dakren. Appreciate that.
Why, thank you.
What'd you get? What was it?
13.
It's not. So yeah, you're looking at it, you can see it. It's not like you can't see the thing. So some of the conclusions you draw are maybe a little muddied, but as you're looking at it, you see it's not perfectly straight. There's no apparent design. There's no, it's not like a elaborate cross or picture or anything like that. And it's not like precise straight. So you can see that whatever did it wasn't like a perfectly drawn line or anything like that.
I'm gonna take my dagger and cut it open.
Okay.
See if there's anything in there.
Yeah, so you kind of slice it open, and as you cut it and spread it apart and kind of look in there, just make another perception check. Dakren? Uh-oh. Thought we were frozen for a sec there. Perception check. Uh-oh. Starting to get all laggy. What was it?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, that's a little better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was weird. It was lagging on mine. Must have been my internet. 11.
11. Yeah, so you're kind of looking in. It's just a lot of blood. Can't really see anything. Yeah. It just looks like the inside of somebody's neck.
No, there's a weird scar on this. I'm going to look at the other corpses. Do they have the same marking?
Yeah. As you move up and start looking, you see the same thing. Each one.
I'm gonna reach behind and feel my own neck.
Reach behind and start rubbing kind of the back of your neck.
Yeah.
You feel a strange vertical ridge very slightly running up the back of your neck.
Well, what it affected them did it to us too, guys.
I go over and look at Branbrek's neck. Is it the same sort of thing?
Yeah, very, very similar. There, it looks quite a bit fresher, though. Like this is still has that puffy red look to it. It looks, yeah, like very fresh. Like not quite even healed up yet.
I feel my neck as well.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, you can feel
Maybe it'd be worthwhile to cut his neck
as you
open.
push on it, you can feel it sting a little bit, and a little bit of the kind of scabbed over area crack slightly.
What did they do to us?
Well, gonna take the short sword, and I'll just try and hack through the neck to decapitate the guy.
Sure, yeah.
Towards as close to the face. No, not myself.
Dakren kills himself. All right. It's a weird character choice, but I respect it.
Weird flex, bro.
You go up to one of these.
Look at this gun while I do it.
And you kind of chop off. Where are you chopping? Above the scar, like at the base of the skull, or below the scar, like at the base of the neck?
Below the scar.
Below the scar. Okay, so you kind of chop it off, right under the jawline, basically. I'm sorry, you said below the scar. So.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So you
as much
get it right off the shoulders. A little bit harder to go through. Just roll a d20 real quick.
Okay. I do not imagine that this is an easy thing. That's just a straight up 12.
Okay, yeah. You've got enough time, and your friends can help as you struggle around to kind of like saw through. And at first you start with your rapier, and you're just like poking around, and you're like, well.
Oh no, I grabbed my short sword. My rapier's not going to do
rapiers
this.
Aren't good for this. And then you get your short sword out, and you're kind of sliding around the bone. But eventually you can saw your way through.
Entire time I'm grumbling that I need a good axe.
Jasper walks up and grabs the back of the chin and puts his heels on the shoulders, and he's pulling as you're just trying to help you out. It's like
Get better if you hold it tight.
So eventually you'll
stitching on it.
And then I say, as we finish, I'm like, it's easier to carry around than dragging the entire body with us. We'll have some cleric look at this when we get back to town.
All right. As you guys were putting on all your gear, just make a passive perception check as you're doing that.
User passive?
So it wouldn't be a perception check. Just as you're putting on your gear, what's everyone's passive perception? I should have asked. So
11.
11. Okay.
18.
Your passive is 18. Okay.
What, your passive perception?
What am I supposed to roll? I apologize.
Sorry. I said roll. I didn't mean roll. That was my bad.
It's 10 plus your perception modifier.
What's your straight perception modifier?
Oh, okay. I don't know what my perception. I'm sorry, I haven't got that far. Perception. Okay. 4. So
plus 4?
14 is your passive perception then.
No, it would be 16.
Okay.
That's plus 2 and then plus 4.
Okay.
So.
Great.
Okay, so 16 is your passive. You're pretty aware.
Okay.
Nice. 9.
9. Okay. So
Those are pretty.
as you're putting your
I am less perceptive than the average person.
It shows, doesn't it?
you
Apparently.
as you're looking around and putting your gear on, Hargus, you notice like a strange kind of like thicker portion of your collar area in the back, and it's just like a rolled, like you kind of feel it as it's on there, and you're like, what the heck? And it's like this little small roll like sewed to the top of your normal clothes, like your normal gear. It's like sewed on, attached at the top there, this little roll.
Well, of course, we immediately have to show everybody else. So, hey, everybody gather around and look at this. What is this?
Do each of us have this then?
Yeah, you've each got one. Yeah, it's just like
I
a little
started
bit.
unrobing and trying to pull it off.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, wait a minute.
doing-
No. One of our companions just passed away. I'll see if he has one.
He does have one
And
too.
then
Yeah.
check his.
Yeah, he has one too. And as you're.
We'll go ahead and investigate his.
Okay, yeah, as you're.
Go ahead and take dagger after it.
Sure.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I have a spare leather suit that they would have done that too, and because I stole the other guy's studded leather.
So, yeah, as you're looking at it, Jasper looks over and goes, "Oh, wait, that's one of my inventions. It's really neat. If you're ever falling like really fast out of a tree or something like that, it'll pop open with a little parachute and probably keep you from getting really badly. That's interesting. Again, we must have been preparing for this for some time because it takes me a little bit to make those things. It's just very strange.
Okay, so my current armor doesn't have that then.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
I put away my dagger that I was going to use to cut it off because I thought it was something that the cultists put there. So I was like, okay, well, that sounds handy.
No,
Thanks again, I guess, in the past for doing that, if that's what you did. Thank you, Jasper.
yeah. Well, it looks like we were all working on this together, so it's not a surprise.
It's really bothering me that our memories are. This is really frustrating to me that we
It's
aren't remembering stuff.
it's quite frustrating, yes. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Okay.
Well, my thinking is we must have been ambushed in the woods, and they must have used a chemical. And those pods down there that we escaped from are obviously part of it. But how did they attack us? That's the thing we need to figure out. We can avoid it.
That's I don't remember anything about it. I don't know.
I don't know where to go. I have a lot of misgivings because of it.
I remember Chester saying something about we are here to save some people from the village, and I have a feeling that those pods are occupied. Shall we go take care of this?
Yes. Yeah, that would be the moral thing to do.
I think it would be best to recover as many as possible and do it one at a time in case any of them is feral, and probably be best not to kill them, try and knock them out unconscious if nothing else. We'll probably have a cleric look at them later. So we find out it's being too much of a problem, then we'll have to go and grab more people and drag the ones that we have with us. I have rope here so we can tie some of them up if they're acting out of sorts, but
I think we should try and find a way out of here first, and then, and then help people. If we get ambushed or something, I don't want any of them to be in danger.
fair enough. Well then, let's look around. Do we call it there, or keep going, or what?
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys fill out the time frame.
Well, that's a good
Well-
question. So,
I have to work in the morning.
Same here.
Pretty late for me.
I'm
Yeah, you're an hour ahead of us.
okay. Well,
So it's 12 for you.
Sorry, I don't hate to be the pretty
no, it's
No,
No,
not a
that was good.
not a bad place to call it. So, as you guys have cemented some loose relationship with one another and identified a common problem, you guys.
loose relationship has got multiple meanings in this context.
Well, I feel like we've crossed a lot of boundaries in friendship that has.
There is a certain level of skinship I never want to have again.